So I'm trying to build out a new scene for Ecamm. I had a previous one which was pretty basic, but the idea here is this is like a waiting screen scene. Normally I have a counter going for about 20 minutes until we go officially live. I was using thumbnails before that looked something like this that I was making, which were very straightforward, but I wanted to take this and get it a little bit more into my branding and into Ecamm as individual elements, just recreating it. This way I have more control over changing things on the fly, being able to jump in here and just edit a title of a product or something, be able to change if it's like an unboxing or a live or a review or first look. Also being able to update the date and that type of stuff. I am playing with some new music at the moment. I think I've nailed down this look. Now, I was also thinking of giving the artist a little recognition on here too. Before, I only had a song for a minute or two, and it was just kept re-looping over and over again. So I'm thinking about finding a longer song, or maybe a couple of songs, and just putting them together. But I was considering on, you know, putting their credit on this page somewhere. So just like an example, I have this on here. I just made it, and I can move it to different locations and move, the layer, whether it's up there or maybe I want it on top down here somewhere. Still not currently sure what I want to do with that or if I'm going to use it. But right now, put it there. I do use a service called Soundstripe to make sure I don't get any flagged for any music content stuff. So, like this song, I'll just play it through right now and try to put it somewhat lower. But yeah, Soundstripe's really cool. I've been using them for a long time. They have a lot of different services. One of the things that were nice about them is they also had sound effects. You could play someone walking through puddles. That was nice. And then they started adding other things like videos, which I haven't really used much. But I guess if you needed some very basic stock footage for something, it may be good. But I'm just using it for like background music and whatnot. So for my background music, I'm looking at duration because I want something longer. So I'm going to go at least 4. And then I've been going up to like energy, maybe like medium. And I've just been popping through some of these songs. It's nice you could play, but you could also jump in the waveforms to certain places. A lot of what I'll do is I'll just, rather than hit play and stuff in the beginning, I'll jump through songs and see how it is. Of course, after I filter out exactly what I'm looking for. But yeah, that's a quick look here. Again, this would probably start out, just to give you guys an idea, with that on in there, and then we'd have an overhead camera. And I could zoom that a little, maybe get that centered in. I usually go black and white and then blur it a little bit. And then as we get closer to the time, I may take the black and white off and maybe take the blur down. It looks dark right now. I don't have the lights on that table, but ultimately that's what I would do. And then when we actually go live, we would change the scene to a different one. But ultimately, I want to give some indication, or I might actually come off the product like 2 or 3 minutes before it and show myself at the computer. I might still be black and white. It might be blurred a little bit. I might come black and white, and I might be blurred a little bit, just to give everyone a sense that I'm here actually working on something, and we're about to go live shortly. What else? Yeah, that's really it. Most of my scenes here, you could see there's a bunch here. Ecamm's nice too because you could set up profiles and you can have a whole bunch of scenes set up for specific things. I try to use abbreviations like OH for overhead, cam A, cam B, so forth. Yeah, and this blue background is also a video of kind of like granite square boxes moving very slowly, which I thought is cool. It's a little subtlety that I put in there. What else? That don't look like the screen that I'm using right now. Oh, because that is pulling a web link at the moment. Okay, need to fix that a little. this is supposed to be a commentary, which really would be, which I would be in there. Guest would be in this other circle if there was a guest instead of my logo. And we could talk about something on the screen. Thinking of that, looking at that, maybe I should put a blue box rectangle across the top to frame it out a little better. So I'm going to hold Option. First, let me see which rectangle this is. That's the bottom one. I'm going to go ahead, hold Option, and drag down, which will create another one. And oh, I changed scenes by accident. It's one of the things I don't like about this. I like using commands or key bindings to jump forward and backwards. And whenever I do this in here, it jumps me to the next scene. So anyway, I just renamed this to rectangle top. And now I'm going to grab this and move it to the top. And I'll grab the bottom and keep going until I get to something that looks decent. And from that point, I will just reframe whatever I have on that desktop in here. Why is that? Okay, so it should just be primary display. I had it for a specific app. I don't know why that's in there. Let's get rid of that. Cleaning some stuff up. I could actually choose browser. When I do that, it looks like it cuts the browser out a little bit. So how about we clean that up? So let's move this. Let's undo that. It's totally zoomed out, huh? Okay, I guess that's something I need to go about that far. That's left. It's most likely than not, most of the time we're going to be using the bottom, which looks like it's going to mess up my naming a bit. Be nice if there was a way to like totally merge them. Okay, so I think I messed up my name, right? That's myself, camera. That's my name. Let's see if we add a background color to it. I come in here. We'll choose basically this. Oh, let's choose the same color we're using for the background. I have so many of the actual things in there. Okay, so let's go back. I want the camera over that. This way I could push in a little bit. Maybe something like that. Maybe even pull it down a little. So we get it blending. Doesn't look too bad. And then we could come back in to here and we could add, what is that called? Corner radius. So what we'll do is we'll kill all the other corners, but we'll keep that one. And we'll try to get to a nice kind of curve or something. I don't know. Something like that. It looks like the little bit of my T is getting cut. Can I pull it out? And yeah, I'm starting to get a little blue there, so I need it in there. Yeah, think that looks okay. I could always go in and maybe put a space before my name. Okay. If I had that problem on that side, then I will probably have the same with the other side. So right now, this is just camera pointing at something else. But again, I have to do the same thing to the other side. Done. So we want to keep that border radius, but we need to add a color in there. Let's use the picker to get that same color again. Comment. Text is right there. Maybe it's because I don't have anything in there. Let's see, is it empty? No, it's in there as white. I'm just trying to make this a little longer just in case. Again, I did that command sideways and messed it up. So I guess it is right there, but I don't see it. Okay, because it's on top of white, but I already told it to give the background and I gave it a color. Why is that not working? Shouldn't have to give it a border width, so the border color is there. It's just the background. Oh, I added the color, but I didn't choose that it is a solid color. Okay, but it's still okay. Little things, background color. I don't know why I have to do this again, but let's do it again. There you go, perfect. So we want that side being the curve. Looks about right. With the sins, we get rid of that box. I think this is higher than the other one. Looks like it. I still got a little bit of a gap. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I was also thinking about putting Life with Tech logo down here at some point. Maybe I'll do that now. Let's see, why not, right? We'll see how it looks. Yeah, I'll close all this stuff. see. I think I had some stuff on my desktop, but maybe not. Oh, let me go ahead and find this. I use good quality images that I have. Okay, I'm gonna jump to, so I use Affinity Photo 2, I guess they're up to. So I think I'm gonna use this. And let's see, I think I'm gonna crop this image down to something like this. Up, constricted. I'm not gonna take the bar. I'm just gonna take intersection, right there. So I'm gonna crop it down to something like that. Actually, it doesn't look like it's centered to me. I don't know. Let's grid. Show grid. Maybe it's my eyes, but I don't know. I'm just gonna grab this, cut it, paste it. This way I could move it a little. I like that is more. That's more center. Okay. Thinking that this one that I put on the bottom, which is this one, I like labeling them what's what, and I'll put that one just on the bottom. I think we're going to end up going white with this one, is my thinking. The easiest way to do this is probably just come and go color overlay and then select white. So I'm going to export this. We're not going to close it yet. I'll export this as a PNG, transparent background, and banner Ecamm. Throw it in a folder. All right, assets, intro scene, which is what I was working on. I think I threw it in here for now. Banner Ecamm. Yeah, that's it. All I have to do is drag it in here. I'm going to drag it right in. I'm going to put it on top of everything for right now. Okay. Before I mess with everything, I'm going to close all the folders. I'm going to make sure, I'm going to lock things. I have a tendency of hitting stuff when I'm resizing, and I wish there was a folder lock. There's no folder to lock everything in a folder. That would be nice. I'll lock all this stuff, because once I get in here and start moving stuff around, it's going to become a little bit of a thing. Okay. Why is it moving around? Okay, there you go. I'm going to hold shift because I think that, yeah, that will keep the ratio. So what I was thinking here is keeping the taking back control on top of the, I don't want it too big. I just want it a little noticeable. Okay, when this stuff happens, sometimes when things are laying over each other, they start getting hard to grab. So I end up hiding stuff. Sometimes that works. Still can't grab it. Okay, now I was able to grab it. Let's unhide the bottom bar so we can see it again. So that looks like that's middle. I think I want to redo that image and move taking back control lower. So there's more space between the two words, right? So I'm going to come back in here. Actually, I think I'm going to make, or you know what? Let's just do it this way. Let's hide. Let's turn this into two images. Let's just do that. I will pull in two images and use them separately. This way we could get it exactly how we want it. So with that said, I'm going to select the top portion, copy. It's probably an easier way of doing this. Just trying to do it fast. This we needed, right? The overlay needed to make that white. Sometimes it doesn't look like there's a black layer. Yeah, it doesn't look right, but anyhow, let's just do it this way. So if we hide that, file, export, knife with tech, banner, export, taking back control. There. Right. So if it's a little bigger, I'm not too worried about it. So now if we come back in here, so let's get rid of the image that we put in before. Actually, I'll make a folder this time and we'll call this Life with Tech Banner. Looks like I put it inside. I don't want it inside. I want it outside. So this is one. My drag and dropping isn't working from the other screen, so let's move it over. Way to the top for some reason. Now that they're in here, I will move them into that folder. Perfect. I will hide. Taking back control is going to be on the bottom. Again, it's doing this whole can't grab onto what I'm trying to grab onto. This One of the things that gets me all the time, bugs the heck out of me. Okay, so again, we'll grab the shift, we'll hold it, bring this down to somewhere where we think it would be. Drag it to center. We know exactly where center is. Okay, and now we're perfect. Now we'll unhide the Life with Tech one. That down a bit. Hold shift. That down. That looks like about center. We're making it again. We don't want this in your face big. We want this, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to make the other one smaller. Something like that. Trying to grab it again, that resize, and it's doing that whole thing to me again. Okay, there you go. Let's hit. Thinks that is center, which is, I think it's guess it's close enough. And this thing underneath it, I'm gonna go smaller because it should just be smaller to start with. Trying to grab the corner. Yeah, since I grabbed that, that looks okay. Let's see if what would happen if we link them together. So this little button right here is a link. Anything in that folder will be linked together. So now I could grab one of these items and move both of them if I could grab it. There you go. See, like that. So if I want to bring it a little lower, bring it a little higher, just a sliver between the color there. Yeah, what do you guys think? Let's see what I added, maybe some shadows behind it, maybe. Nothing else has shadows, but it might be nice. Have these in the wrong order again. I like keeping them in the same order. So let's try adding a shadow to this, reducing the distance just because it's on a busier background. We could get some separation a little bit. What angle? I like going down to the right on stuff. Maybe we could change the color. Let's see how white looks. Yeah, white looks like it'll make it stand out a little more. Blur it, which, so without the blur, you can see it actually gives that like popping out look, which doesn't look too bad. So I think I'm going to do that and then pull down the opacity just a bit so it's not super standing out. And then let's take a look at taking control. Let's add, let's pull that, and let's give that a black one on there. And then we're going to pull the opacity down too so it's not popping as much. Something like that. All right, I'm liking that. And then this is easy enough. It doesn't have to be there all the time. We can put it away. We could bring it back. We could bind that to our loop deck so we could bring it in and take it out if we want. Put some other text over here or whatnot, but that looks looking pretty good. But we don't need that if we don't have a guest, right? Again, if the guest is not there, then we don't really need another logo. There. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. Some of these things don't save. Yeah, if you guys have never used Ecamm, yeah, it's a pretty solid streaming program. It is a subscription. It is not that cheap, but it's not the most expensive on the block either. I do think you get what you pay for. Yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is just gonna rough run through. I'll probably trim up the beginning a little bit later once it goes live. Once, shouldn't say live, this is live. So after a live, YouTube transcodes it and you can't edit anything until the transcoding's done. Once that's done, I'll go in and trim the beginning where the audio wasn't working. And that'll be it. Yeah, if you run into have any questions with Ecamm, holler, let me know. But yeah, I think if we go back to our what we were trying to get out of this, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, till next time, guys. Later.